Oh, Keith, sorry.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, mute.
I brought my own lunch and went down to buy a cup of tea.
Oh, okay.
You got my input, Damien, because yours is not a product manufacturer thing, so you have to add in the exchange and refund policy. As a result,
yeah.
your Section 4 role play is unable to put a tick on that bucket. So that was why you need to add in all LiveSmart exchange policy. Nolisa have the same issue as well. Yeah, better go and tell Nolisa.
Yeah, ma'am, later I will verify because there's one English word I don't understand. Is the equipment and you strap off the equipment?
There's no equipment, there's only room, right?
Sorry, what? I tried to read that.
Room or venue or site, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Resources, prop, and SIT.
Site.
Oh, site. SITE.
Either venue or site or whatever you go and decide. Yeah.
Oh, site. Okay.
Because you go and put certain things at the bottom, but it's not under equipment or resources.
Oh, but I just want to verify the continuation. The one, the whole chunk must take away. The two assessment.
There are duplicates.
Oh, okay.
You can remove the duplicates in the attached if you want to.
Or either I just totally remove lah. Yeah.
Yeah, just remove. I mean, it's just a incomplete template.
Okay.
More confusion than anything.
Understand, ma'am. Then you mentioned the Live Smart, the coverage A and B. I just categorize them accordingly because these are two different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there's only one thing is one more. The A header live. This one I try to understand. A header live.
Damien, read on your own. They're totally separate things. Don't group them together. Full stop.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's just common sense. I'm not marking that based on any assessment criteria. I'm just marking it based on a practical point of view.
Oh. Okay, can.
You cannot group the exchange and refund with delivery point. I mean, just, yeah.
Okay, understand. All right. Can.
Who is it? Is it Key? Your assessment plan, no assessment plan. You only give me 7.5, 7.6.
Oh, you need 4 to 6 also.
On that day, you will use 7.5 and 7.6 to assess.
Yeah.
That means you will NYC.
Oh.
Of course. This is not the whole assessment.
Oh, yeah, you need the whole set.
How many times I have to tell you to submit the whole assessment plan?
Okay.
I mean, you want me to repeat, I'll repeat nicely, but
okay.
Yeah. Okay, after today, y'all can upload the final work already. Very good. Yeah. Why, Marcus? You're laughing. You saw my feedback already, right? Okay.
Yeah, I made changes already.
Oh, very good. Then upload final already. You make sure your stakeholders are there for the assessment tools and the resources are there. Done. Upload. Finished. Yeah.
Okay.
Upload the whole assessment plan. Okay. Non-lister, for you and Damien, your section 4 ability statement 3 need to add in all exchange and refund policy. Or else the evidence cannot be marked at all.
Yep, I've made the changes and
very
copied
good.
them.
So for Damien and non-lister, absolutely clear that both role play and oral questions did not assess exchange and refund. Yeah. Both their product doesn't have warranties for a manufacturer's warranty. Yeah. So that's why.
It's okay for us to choose an item that has no warranty?
Of course. Only section 4 you have to add in the all exchange and refund because or else you can't mark and the candidate will be NYC. Not because of the fault of the NYC but the fault of the assessment plan. So for both of you, one of the things that you need to confirm with the stakeholders is the absence of exchange and refund in the assessment criteria in section 4 and 5.
Yep.
Yeah, they chose a product without product warranty. Okay, so we are done. Yixiang confirmed on the MC, but I do not know whether he can meet the 75% attendance. I'll let IL settle that. Poor guy. and cannot then refer to another cohort, that's all. Yeah. Okay. So for tablet, two of you use tablet in this class, right? CF, you use tablet? Yes. Marcus, yours is not tablet, right? No.
Mouse.
Yeah. And Yijiang use tablet. Yeah. Okay. Good. So we shall begin. Nadia, you're in.
Sorry.
Welcome in. Okay, good. We can start. We have enough forum. Yes. So, okay. Anything to clarify on briefing and instruction before role play and oral questions? Sounds good. Okay. Recovery for role play. That one I think you'll get clearer during the coaching. That one is a real hands-on. I think the trick to recovery is cannot give them the answers at all. That's all. Okay, so for oral questions, can anyone remember the 3 instructions before oral questions? The 3 sets of instructions you need to give candidate before oral questions. Okay, if not sure, goes to assessment plan, section 3.3. This is 3.3. Okay, for oral questions.
To inform them the total number of oral questions.
Yes, hold on. Encourage leave time. Check, they need a break. No. Total number of questions, right?
Yeah.
The instruction for rephrase for oral question is also unclear. Yeah, it's unclear. But definitely, he didn't ask you to use the wrong method. It's just very grey. How many times you can rephrase for oral question is also unclear. Yeah. So that's the not so good part about the assessment and instruction for oral question is unclear. Yeah.
And we mentioned the assessment plan is unclear. The number of times we have to rephrase, meaning to say when we start doing our assessment plan, we need to be clearer.
No, that means you can clarify with the stakeholders if it's unclear before you start the assessment. How to recover for oral question is easy. It's just rephrase question, ask learner to elaborate. But how many times? Again, the instruction was not here. Joel, you asked just now, how many times can you recover for role play? Again, for this, no clear instruction. That means every assessor, one will recover 1 time, one will recover 6 times, one will recover 10 times. No proper guidance. So when the candidate go out, when they compare notes, this is where the candidate will get really angry and they'll write complaint letter and appeal letter once the system is unclear on recovery itself. Okay, the rest of the oral questions I'll let you all read on your own. These are the things I would cover in detail. Okay, good. For oral questions, the things that you want to brief before oral questions, Nadia, you were saying just now, what are the things we should tell the candidate before oral questions?
It would be to tell them the number of questions you're going through them for oral questions, and then our clarification if they find that the questions are unclear, we try to rephrase it for them.
Very good. So it's 1, 2, okay, and then shall we begin? Begin. Okay. And then we say yes, we start. If you want to add the duration, it's all good for you. Yep. Okay, so the end time for role play is where you finish recording. Okay, the start time for oral question will be when you give instruction for oral question. Okay, the end time for oral question is instruction for oral question. Okay. The end time for oral question is end of giving feedback and assessment outcome to candidate. They didn't, unless the assessment plan specify clearly, when they put start time to end time, this is exactly what it means. Okay. It will mean that if you have a 1 hour assessment with IEL assessor, the start time for the IEL assessor will be when you come into the Zoom and she started briefing you or he started briefing you. The end time of the assessment is after she informed you the assessment outcome, show you the assessment acknowledgement, and invite you to sign, and she says thank you for attending today's assessment. That will be the end time for the 1 hour assessment itself. Is that okay? So far, okay. So that's good. Again, your candidate name here must be filled. Don't leave it blank. Like Visa card, don't leave home without it. Never. 5, 6, 7. What did I put? R. And then the date will be the date of your final assessment itself. Is that okay? For oral question. Okay, this will be the instructions. Okay. That looks good. Okay, so shall we take a picture of this first? Yes. Where is my pen? B18. Okay. So as an update, as of now, I have provided advice to everyone on their assessment plan already. And once you are ready to just upload on Canvas. We try it out with coaching. If there's any refinement, we upload it after coaching. Is that okay? Yeah. CF, I've seen your work, CF. Yes, long time ago. Yes. Yeah, first to submit. Yeah. Okay, so for oral question itself, that's quite simple, right? You ask one question, then you listen to the answer. Okay, so if the answer is as per here, what do you do? The answer is within here, what do you do? Just put a tick and put a tick. Okay? Yeah? If 2 tick for A this part, the result will be C. Okay? If the evidence is as it is, you don't have to write anymore. You just put evidence shown. Yeah? Okay? Can? But if she answer things that are not using the words here, but very, very different, but it still meet the meaning, you can still put tick, and then you pen down what she said. Then you put down evidence shown. Can? I try to use my own words as a candidate. I will meet the point. Okay, but so you don't really have to jot a lot of pointers here. Is that okay? If both, they need all, the decision here is a competent. Yeah? Same marking system. Good. So now that's for the oral question. So, because you need to show evidence of rephrasing oral question, I'm asking all of us to give suggestions on how would you rephrase oral question 1 and oral question 2. So you have a bank of rephrase questions. Okay, so as an assessor, myself, rephrase questions before I go into assessment, and sometimes I'll sit down or call a colleague, and then we just exchange notes. Oh, by the way, how do you rephrase this question? And then we learn from each other as well. Yeah, so if we don't really work on our own, we sometimes will check in with a colleague as well. Okay, I have a colleague starting module 5, and I even text her, hey, heard that you're starting module 5, is there anything, just call me, I'll check in with you. So we also work with our colleague to interpret the assessment criteria, interpret the lesson plans provided by I. Okay, so peer-to-peer learning is just important. Good. So for oral question 1, let's focus on this. How would you rephrase oral question 1? You're asking this question to a retail assistant. The question is, what should you do when you find out that the customer's requirement cannot be matched to any product available in LiveSmart Emporium? Rule number 1 for rephrasing oral questions. What is the rule? The rule is don't rephrase from the answer. Once you rephrase on the answer, the candidate know the answer. It's called prompting. You rephrase the intention of the question. Okay? Rephrase the intention of the question. So how would you rephrase this question? Anyone want to type and put it here? Go ahead. You know, how would you rephrase this? You can type your own space. Or I can ask you to type as well. I will also do it. Joel, start. Okay. You have one answer there, one rephrase question there. Okay. Anyone has a rephrase question there? Okay. What would be your rephrase question? Potentially, I'll tell you I don't understand the question, so how do you rephrase it? For those that read my slide, I have one example there. Hello, after lunch. All those.
Can I try?
Oh, of course, if you don't, then I wouldn't have a response, you know. Yeah. Thank you.
Can I put it this way?
Just say it.
What should you do when what should you do when the product you're selling does not match what you're looking for? I'm asking the customer. What should you do when the products you're selling does not match the customers what they are looking for? Something like that.
I think that's possible.
Can, right?
Yeah. Okay, Joel, I would ask you to change your last statement. What should be your response to customers? Okay, that's option 1. Okay. Sorry, I put in red. Okay. So, Key, what do you say?
I'm saying that what should you do when what you're selling what should you do when the product you're selling what should you do when you don't sell the product that the customer is looking for?
Okay, that's possible.
Something.
When our store product not meet the product that the customer is looking for, use your own words. I retype differently. I think that's quite okay. Yeah. So potentially, if you are selling plastic containers, okay, you could actually ask the question that for the product you're selling is plastic containers, generic brand. If the customer asks for Tupperware, take for example, plastic containers, and we do not carry it in Live Smart and Forium. Okay, make it practical and Forium. What would you respond to the customer? How would you respond to the customer? Okay, can? This is very, very specific to the product that you are selling. Can? Okay, you can even do better than this. Thank you for chipping in, everyone. Okay, so you have a rephrase question. Take a photograph and then you can use it. Okay. Key, help me shoot over to class. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. That's good.
Thank you. So I can hear.
Wait. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this is done. So I'll clear this. Very good. So for question 2, How would you rephrase this question if I say that, oh, sorry, I didn't hear the question clearly. I didn't understand the question. Could you rephrase it? It's a long question. Can you make it shorter? Okay.
Will there be any exchange or refund? Let's say the item is not suitable.
This one is not an exchange and refund policy. This one is your 7.5 product warranty after sales service. This is not exchange and refund. Exchange and refund is 7 days. Yeah. Thanks for trying. So
It could be something like, how long is the warranty for this item?
or keep to the statement. What is the not the warranty? Because if it's how long is the warranty, you only get your first answer correct. You know?
Broader is to be broader.
Yeah. Actually, the question is quite clear. It's just that
Maybe-
the statement is long.
Maybe just straight to the point. Please share 3 live smart after sales service to the customer.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Just share.
You can cut everything and keep this.
Please share.
No, you can just keep to this, even though you don't be share. Is that okay? Okay, so this will be your. If there's a need, you need to type in your rephrase question. You type in here. Okay. And this. Why do you think you have to pen down your rephrase question here? What do you think? Why do you think we need to record the rephrase question?
Maybe as a standard for the future assessors to follow, so it can remain. No.
So that you can track that this is actually not the first attempt.
Very good. Excellent. And who wants to see that? Who do you think wants to see that?
To address the customer's needs. So if they don't understand it the first time,
Okay, so assessor actually has many stakeholders. Okay, one of them is your learner in front of you. Okay, how you handle them. The second one is who? Who is your other stakeholder?
The boss.
Your whoever that pay you for this assessment services. Okay,
Really?
So-
They see it.
Huh?
They actually see this.
they do.
Oh.
Because you need to submit the results to on top.
You have to submit the result, especially for
Organization.
NYC result. You need to pen it in. Okay, so the moment I need to rephrase the question, I'll just pen down my rephrase question already. I don't wait, or else later on I'll forget the question I rephrased. Yeah. So your stakeholder, your center director or stakeholder, will review the assessment record. Okay, it's not just your learner in front of you. Especially if there's 2 incidents. One is appeal or complaint. Okay, from learners. Okay, another one is part of their quality audit quality. Okay, so the documentation will be actually audited. I think they will keep for 3 years or 7 years, on site, off site. Yeah, for standard audit purposes. Okay, so that's why you document in. Audit will usually take place depending on your company. Okay, in IAL, we actually hire people to do audit after assessor has completed the assessment themselves, the folder submitted. We actually have an auditor who will pick up the folder and evaluate immediately. We don't wait until SkillsFuture audit will come to us. So if we don't do it correctly, our auditor will actually give us feedback that your assessment record is unclear based on the evidence that observed in the video. in a Zoom, and the evidence you recorded, you actually missed out a lot of details. Potentially, you should record the following things, blah, 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 blah. So we have to then meet up with IAL to talk about our performance improvement and development in the future. Yeah, that's very much part of our practicing. Yeah, some centers will just wait for SkillsFuture assessors to come in to audit. That would be every 6 months or 2 years. Yeah, but IAL actually has to do that more regularly as part of their own internal performance indicator. Yeah, okay. So as an assessor, that's part of our role as well. And also, if the candidate go back and complain that boss is unhappy, they can actually activate the HR to also do a review as well. Yeah, and if you don't record all your questions, the HR potentially even have to call you up to ask you what you did in order to respond. So we encourage all IEL assessors to capture evidence clearly so that the full-time staff don't have to call you up, call the assessors up if the learner actually appeal for unfair practices and all the evidence are captured here. They can just respond to the candidate based on the evidence that's captured here. Yeah. Is that okay? Can?
So just to summarize, that means to say if I'm doing I'm doing an assessor role in future, the place whereby you need to rephrase the questions, right? I cannot prepare beforehand. Meaning to say,
you can. You should always prepare beforehand. Because
but I cannot write anything on the assessment, this particular thing.
You usually will have a notebook that jot down things to take note.
Okay.
The weakness of the assessment plan, and then you will use it when you need to. Yes. Yeah. Or else it'll be very difficult for initial assessor. Yeah. So it's only with practice you learn a little bit more. But people like us, I tend to over prepare beforehand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not saying this to scare you, but we're actually operating in the system. All the WSQ fund courses are funded by SSG, highly subsidized. As a result, they want to ensure the quality is there itself. So like assessors, like trainer, we have our own prep work to do. Yeah. You don't have to worry about standing in front of the class, but you have other audit rigor and system rigor to make sure that you collect evidence to decide the learner's assessment outcome, to judge assessment outcome. So assessors do not produce evidence or hint evidence to prove the candidate's assessment outcome. We don't do that. Yes? In training, we can guide, we can help, we can hint, but not that. Okay, so I think these two are okay. If there are other questions that you are not sure, you want to test out the rephrasing, you can let me know during coaching. But currently, potentially I only ask question 1 and 2 and ask for rephrasing. Is that okay? Can? Red, can I leave it to you? Yeah. Okay, so let me clear this part. So now we talk about conducting role play, conducting oral questions, and how to recover not enough evidence for role play and oral questions. The next thing, how do you record evidence? We talked about recording of evidence just now for role play and for oral questions. This part, the role play, how to record, oral question, how to take and make decisions. Okay, so now we are going to talk about capturing not enough evidence. Okay, round 1 did not read something. Okay, did not demonstrate in round 2. Good. Okay, so yeah, this will be, take for example, if the person didn't ask about product warranty and did not demonstrate in round 2, this will be what you record, and then as a result, this will be not yet completed, assuming this is here. this is here. Okay, good. Can? Now, okay. So that's for role play, and then for your summary assessment record here, what do you think you put at the end part of role play? Let me bring a smaller document and show you. This is the role play record. Okay, you collected evidence. What do you think we put at the end of this remarks column? So this one should be a summary of the role play outcome. Right? And this should be a summary of assessment outcome for role play. So you can put down for role play, candidate is candidate or the name of the candidate. Kelly showed evidence in or demonstrated evidence. These are the words we use. We're actually summarizing the result by methods in ability statement 2, ability statement 4, ability statement 5. Okay, however, she did not demonstrate, showed evidence in A3, A1, and A3. Okay. Invited Kelly to re-perform, or invited candidate to re-perform role play evidence for A1 and A3 not demonstrated. Okay, so NYC in role play. Okay, so when the HR will come in and take a look at it, a professional assessor will clearly demonstrate what are the areas C, what are the areas C, what are the areas NYC. Okay, and then you'll put down A1 and A3. Then once the assessor saw this A1 and A3, or the auditor see this, they will then go to A1 and A3 to look at your documentation of how many rounds you recover, what was the area NYC, and we tell you that. Okay, so this is a summary of what you write at the end of role play. Is that okay? Cool. Yeah. So, questions so far?
Do we need to fill in this part right after this section before we go into oral question, or can we do this at the very end?
You can do this at the very end. Very often that takes your own time. It eats into your own time. Yeah. So a lot of us may just scribble sheet of paper, then you go back and transfer it. So this is talking about half an hour to an hour per paper of your own time. So initial assessment, maybe you do that, but for experienced assessor, you want to compete properly. And the not so good thing for your final assessment, you have to submit it immediately, remember? Yeah, 1 hour, 15 minutes. Yeah, I can give your time a bit more to stay outside and do it and pass the paper to you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm able to do that. Yeah? Does that answer your question, Bala? Yeah, so what I'm saying is 1 hour and 15 minutes, you realize that you can't finish this on time. So I will start my next assessment with the next candidate. Okay, then you can finish your record, but you have to wait for me at maybe after the candidate's briefing on role play. I will come out for 2 minutes just to collect the record from you. Yeah, but potentially learn to self-check your record, take where it's necessary, see is there, put down the remarks that's needed, because if you have anything empty, I'm still going to come back to you. I will just pass you back the document and say, please check product evidence not shown. I can't even tell you where it's missing. Yeah. Okay. But my suggestion is the tick to go along the way. You know, this could be round 1. Okay. This one didn't show. Then round 2. This is shown. Tick just go along the way. It's just, I honestly can't think that anyone can remember the amount of detail you need to know, remember thereafter. Okay, so assessor, what do you think? When you're conducting the assessment, do you think you'll be reading another person's assignment coming to you? No, you can't. You can't afford it. You can't afford. You just got to be fully present in the moment. I don't even worry about any phone calls that's coming in. Yeah. My family is used to that. Yeah. Okay. So for oral question itself, same thing. Okay. Even there's nothing to mark, everything is correct. You just put down 2 words, evidential. Yeah. Yeah, 2 words. Okay, at the end of this, okay, a summary of oral questions. Usually I'm pretty good with the oral questions. Okay, say they answered very well, they are fluent or whatever you want to write, but ultimately you want to see he's competent in all 6 oral questions. Yeah? Short form, no short form, I give it to you. So that is the summary of the assessment result. Yeah? So you now know during your role play, my NYC area will be in the role play itself. Okay, good. If there are no questions, it's all in my slides, so you don't have to worry. Okay, so this is the summary assessment record. Tell me, what's the purpose of the summary assessment record, ladies and gentlemen? What is the purpose of the assessment summary assessment record? Remember, WSQ, how many methods do you have? Show me and tell me, right?
Is this something like a conclusion?
Excellent, because you're using 2 methods. Excellent. So that's why you want to have one sheet of paper that combine your 2 methods together. Okay, for school they do that, but it's not for 2 method paper. They summarize all the continuous assessment results together. Yeah, this one is because you have 2 methods. Okay, so if your role play for A1 is not yet competent, NYC, your oral question is competent. What is the overall result here for ability statement 1?
Wow.
What's the overall result for ability statement 1? UOB, not yet competent.
NYC.
Yeah. So so for the second one, it's very easy. If the result is competent, there's none oral question, so it's very easy. It's just competent. Okay, so you got to put your assessment signature on that day. It's a pen and paper thing. Yeah. When you upload, all these should not be filled, including the candidate name should not be filled. When you upload, it should be a blank copy. Yeah, with unfilled copy. Of course, you have not seen the candidate. Where do you get all the results from? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, so of course this is competent. This will be competent. Of course, the final result will be competent. Yeah. So this is a summary assessment record, and it's based on this record. Your training institute will upload the result to SkillsFuture, as that within 6 weeks or 8 weeks. That's where your My SkillsFuture passport, you will receive the statement of achievement for this module called Product Advisor. Okay. So assessment signature is required. Okay. In IAL, if you don't sign, the IAL will call you to come back and sign. Yeah. Okay, so now, result is competent or not yet competent. Okay. assessor sign, signature, and the date of the assessment itself. Okay, so for our case, the result will be not yet completed. Assessor should make their decision. So the feedback here will be a summary of the whole assessment, summary of the role play and oral question. Yeah. So you can actually pen down using sandwich feedback, or say that candidate demonstrated evidence in all 6 questions, oral questions. And for role play, demonstrated evidence in A2, A4, A5. Okay. However, in role play, not demonstrated enough evidence in role play did not. A3. Okay. And overall NYC in this season. Yep. So you can elaborate more on your own, but basically this is the gist of it. So in your assessment feedback, some of your trainer will let you know, Bella, I'm going to use you an example. Okay. I would say that for module 4, Bella, you have demonstrated evidence in, for example, I'm just giving an example, okay? You've demonstrated evidence in all the written assignments in module 4. Go for the written assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, and your SAR, summary assessment record, you have demonstrated evidence. Okay, you have also in coaching 2 demonstrated evidence in M4 oral presentation. Okay, and also M4 practical performance in facilitate on the job training, OJT, and workplace coaching. Okay, then I may have certain other compliments to say, maybe things to improve. Then I'll say congratulations, you're competent in module 4. Things like that. You realize that we actually give you feedback on written assignment, well done, plus all the artifact or oral presentation. These are different methods that you have to demonstrate based on the module requirement. Yeah? Yeah? So, yeah, and a different way of presenting feedback by method itself. Okay. Yep. So for NYC itself, I like to write based on strengths first, areas done well first, because when you give sandwich feedback, it's a lot clearer, very aligned, and then the areas of improvement, areas of gaps. Yeah? Okay. So if I'm giving feedback to Arthur, I will highlight the strength in OQ because the OQ did so well, and then the role play. And I will especially highlight the part that how you really care for the shop product. What I really like about it, what was really outstanding in your performance was on this point when the product dropped, you actually proactively take them, own it, and care for the product without having them, leaving them on the floor. I thought that was really, really great. Okay, then great. So these are some of your strengths. Therefore, the gap itself, I observed in oral questions. Okay, no, in role play, this was not shown. Okay, yeah, and in fact, as a retail associate, you know what you should do, but that will go later. Yeah, that will be feedback. Then overall result is assessment outcome. Okay, so basically this is the concept, 3-pointer concept itself. Okay.
May I ask a quick question? for the gaps, right? So like in here, is it consistent with like, without prompts, you just say, oh, your area of gap is you didn't show evidence that you can provide customers with blah, blah, blah. Or can I say something like, oh, you forgot to say welcome, blah, blah, blah.
You
So,
can do that. You can do that. You forgot to use the standard PP because this is the end of the assessment. There's no way the candidate is going to redo after this. So usually when you give feedback to the assessment, you would have marked this and you have signed it. You're not going to allow the candidate to recover. Some sneaky candidate will say, oh, can I try again? Etc. The answer is you made your decision. I signed. Yeah, because if you don't sign, the very smart one learn to negotiate. Human behavior. Under stress, they can try. Yeah, can try very well.
And then one more thing, at the bottom there's a candidate's signature and an assessor's
Yes,
signature.
I'm coming to that. Not yet.
Sorry.
I'm currently have not talked about where the candidate is going to sign which part. I'm just talking about finalizing your decision. Yeah. Okay. Ken? And Bella is right at this point because you already made your decision. You can definitely clearly tell them, in fact, in ability statement, you forgot to do this. Yeah. And in fact, as a retail assistant, you should do this because why and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so making assessment decision up to this point is clear. Okay. Because if I need to run this logically based on your task sets. Yeah, or else it will be really difficult. Oh. Okay, give me a moment. I'm going to now show you the slide. Yes. I'm sorry, Marcus. Yeah. Okay, just for your information, this is the role play scenario you need to show your candidate. Yeah. 7.4 is the one you need to show your candidate. Okay, just in case you cannot find it in your assessment plan. Okay. This is your assessment record for role play and for oral questions, section 4, section 5. Yeah. The assessment summary, assessment record. Yes. Appeal process. Okay, so we have done this. We have learned to observe and record evidence. I actually put some sample up there. Round 1 didn't do what? Round 2 did not demonstrate overall result in Okay, for oral questions, if you indeed rephrase questions for this assessment, you need to pen down after the assessment and what do they write at the end. I actually give example here. How to recover for knowledge and skills evidence. Okay, now this is a C result, this is a NYC result. Okay, this is a very elaborate version. You can use this version, but what I really still need to see inside here is not just all the sentences. You must absolutely state clearly NYC in which method, in our case will be role play, in which ability statement. Yeah. So NYC in A1, A3, A4, and A5 in role play. Yeah. Take for example. Yeah. But for this, it's not true because they also have NYC in oral question, overall result. Yeah. Okay. So this is important. Okay, so once you have done that, okay, these are slides about 94. Okay, you can always refer to them. You can bring your own laptop on that day and then refer to them. Okay. Where am I? Okay. Oh, screen is up. Okay. Okay, so you got this. So potentially, what are some of the challenges you can predict that you will encounter when you collect evidence currently? Have some fun. What potentially are some challenges? Oh, no challenge, quite easy. Yeah.
It freeze.
The demonstration is quite fast, and you're busy recording down the notes.
Oh,
The role play is really quite fast, and you're busy writing down the notes, so you can't write and see at the same time.
yes.
Then you might
For-
miss, or when it's answering you and writing down, you can't listen carefully.
Absolutely. So you need to practice once or twice. Yeah, you need to practice once or twice. You should, before the coaching, you should practice using after stick. Yeah. 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 And the last thing you want to do is during the assessment, you just look at the form and not looking at the evidence. Because I'm not going to repeat my evidence for the sake of it. Don't just look at the form like that, okay? Definitely that's not going to happen. Okay. If you have very good sight vision, like you can look at girls from the side, then you could actually do that, but you must be totally confident you're looking at evidence. Yeah. Can? Yeah. So just don't bury your head on the paper, and that requires practice. Can? Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Vidya. I think that's the most amazing challenge. Breathing is a key. Really, really. The briefing is as good as your module 4 briefing or your M1 briefing plus appeal confidentiality specialty, but the instructions before role play and oral question, you are also used to that because as trainer, before you get the learners to practice role play, you must give instructions at the same time. In M4, before you get them to do the role play, you must tell them the role and what are the scenario they need to do, for the demonstration. The only different thing is in E1, your observing and recording of evidence must be really good. In M1, if you use an observation checklist, M4 you actually have an assessment record for skills, right? You all remember in M4, when you conduct the assessment of learning, you have to open up your assessment of learning and pick and observe all the detailed evidence. I know some of the trainer only have subheaders, so you don't have the details to mark. So you might not encounter that. My M4 learners cut and paste their entire task set into the assessment of learning. So they have to learn to observe and mark along the way. Yeah. So it's the same thing. Observing, marking the assessment of learning form, observing, marking your follow-up form, WA3, is the same thing. Yeah. But this time is because you're determining someone's result, you want to do it properly. That's why you are a little bit more stressed. Yeah, on this. So with the assessment outcome, okay, now you're going to give feedback to the learner. Okay, so how do you give feedback to the learner? Okay, this one I will practice with you on coaching. I will not ask you all to practice now because this is so step by step. Okay, ask learners to reflect on their performance. Wait, I just want to check. Can you all see my slide currently? Yes? Hannah? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for the heads up. Okay. How do you think you perform? If the learner admitted their own mistake, it's so much easier for you. Yeah? Yeah. And it's also good for their own learning. Then after that, provide feedback. Seek the areas done well in oral questions, in role play. State the areas of gaps, evidence not shown. In fact, you forgot to do this. Bella, that is accepted. That is only this portion. Okay, let me tell you the portion that most people didn't do. Is this one. Okay, I will put a heart sign here. Now, is to guide the learner how to improve. So now so if I say Kelly, you did not in ability statement 1, when you establish the the customer's requirement. In fact, when the customer walk into the shop, you have a great smile, eye contact, you're attentive to the customer. However, you greeted the customer with good morning and good afternoon. However, you forgot to use the standard greeting, welcome to LiveSmart Emporium. And this is important because when the customer comes into LiveSmart Emporium, we greet them, welcome to LiveSmart. This will help them remember and also remember our brand as a LiveSmart Emporium. That's why we must pick them welcome to LiveSmart Emporium itself. Yeah? Yeah. So this is how you provide guidance. Yeah. And of course, I ask them to reflect first, tell them the areas they did well for oral questions and role play, show me, tell me, done well. Now I'll go into performance gap, ability statement, you didn't do this. In fact, why you should do this. Okay, then I'm going to say for ability statement 3, you demonstrated everything except you forgot to mention the manufacturer's warranty after the customers to the customers. Do you know why that's important? Because when they purchase a product, they would need to know the number of years of warranty that's given to the product, and if their product doesn't work well, how they can go arrange to repair them, etc., etc. And this is very important as part of our LiveSmart Emporium service to our customers itself. Yeah. Okay, so this is provide guidance. By pointing out the gap doesn't provide guidance, it's totally different thing. Then you encourage them. So I would like you to when you are performing this or practicing this, I would like you to take note of these 2 steps. So in actual fact, in ACLP, my learners are NYC, I will usually give them a slip of paper and I'll pen down those area NYC and I'll pass it to them, ask them to take note for that area. After that, I will say, so for today, the assessment outcome of the unit of product advisory is not yet competent because of the lack of evidence in role play in the ability statement 1, establish customer requirement, ability statement 3, blah blah blah. I usually will open up to the summary assessment record so that I have all my data in front of me. So as of now, I pause, I look at the candidate a bit first. Okay, then I say, do you have any clarification or questions? Okay, if not, let me share with you. If you have a right to appeal if you disagree with the assessment process. Let me share with you the assessment appeal process. I will flip to 7.2. I will share with them the appeal procedure, and also if they have a right to appeal and they have a right for reassessment. Okay, then I will ask them, would you like to appeal? Wait, sorry, reverse a bit. Tell them the assessment appeal process and right. Ask them, would they like to appeal? Would they accept the decision or they want to appeal? If they want to accept the decision, there's different way or processes. Let me share with you how does that work using the assessment form. So now I will answer your question that you asked just now. Okay, so for competent result, very easy. Okay, they just sign here, this part we just cancel for competent result. For not yet competent result, you have to inform the learner, you have a right to appeal if you disagree with the assessment outcome. You brief the candidate on the appeal process, and you ask you brief the candidate on the appeal process, and you ask the candidate if they want to appeal. If they do not want to appeal, which is this one, they don't want to appeal. That means they agree or they disagree with your assessment outcome. What do you think? If candidate don't want to appeal after you brief the appeal process, do you think the candidate accepted the MYC result or he did not accept the MYC result? You give him an NYC result, not you give him. He did not show the evidence, that's why he has an NYC result. You brief him on the appeal process and candidate do not want to lodge an appeal. So did the candidate agree with the assessment result or did not agree? Agree? Mm-hmm. Joel say agree. Yeah, because he did not show evidence, you give him feedback already, you brief him on the right to appeal, you ask him do you want to appeal, he said he don't want. Okay, so that means he accepted the assessment result. You let him sign here, you let him sign here, both area, but this is your marking here. Okay. Sometimes they want to leave it blank, it's fine. I very kiasi one. I never leave any field empty. I will always finish marking my field. I'm a finance trader. Okay, so it's no. Now, with the NYC result, you brief him on the appeal process. And they would like to lodge an appeal. When they want to appeal on your assessment decision, okay, they want to appeal your assessment decision, means what? They do not accept the result. If they do not accept the result, this part, do they sign or they don't sign? They don't sign because they do not accept your assessment result. So this part is empty. Yeah? Of course, assessor must sign already. Then you will tick these two boxes. Then you ask candidate to acknowledge here. In fact, I will also ask candidate to pen the date. Yeah, that completes the record itself. Yeah. Questions so far for this?
I have a question. So regarding to briefing the, what do you call that? Appeal can be in front mentioned also can, right? Or is always until the end? Or there's no sequence? Because in the last video that was learned from your side, they early say already.
No, that is during briefing.
Briefing,
okay.
Yeah.
All IEL assessors brief appeal process right at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. And indeed the candidate is NYC. Okay. We can give them the appeal form if you are already briefed at the beginning. Okay, but you must say that but you must still declare you have a right to appeal. And at the end point, you must still declare your right to appeal if you disagree with the assessment outcome. And here's the appeal procedure that I briefed you at the beginning, and you show them 7.2. That's why you make a copy of 7.2.
Okay.
Okay. Then you ask the candidate, do you want to appeal? Okay. Then the candidate say, no, I don't want to appeal. Then he say, okay, you don't want to appeal. Come. This is where we will sign. If the candidate is NYC, right? If I'm NYC, right? What information you want from the assessment? You want to know right to appeal. You also will want to know what? Whether I have a chance for reassessment, right? Okay. So you should also inform the candidate you have a choice to, if you don't want to appeal, you can go directly to arrange for your reassessment date. That's possible. Yeah. Yeah. But there are some learners who will brief the right to appeal if you disagree with the assessment result. Okay. And if you agree with the assessment result, you will go directly to the reassessment process. Would you like to know or give me your decision? That's also fine. Yeah, there's no fixed rule, but the key thing is you must read the appeal rights and procedure at the end. But definitely at the beginning must be for your assessment. It's in your assessment criteria itself. Ken, Joel? Rakesh, question? Sounds okay? Okay, the slides are quite step by step. Yeah. My learners say they'll sell it on my behalf. I think no, I can't. IL doesn't allow me to profit from it. Yes. I arranged this deck of slides when we came on board COVID. Or else this module is so difficult to understand. Okay, so after thanks the learner for coming for the assessment and give them a bit of encouragement. Okay. How many of you feel that giving NYC feedback is going to be difficult? Yes, it's going to be difficult. Okay.
The first thing the student will feel is like they upset, they will scold you. What the? You know.
I think it's a kind of a low, like, you kill his morale, like, again, there's a lot of difficulty though. It look easy, but it's actually not easy when you want to give the empathy.
It's not easy. Yeah. It definitely someone's morale will be affected.
Exactly.
Yes. So as a result, the way you deliver the NYC message is the concept of the glass half approach to feedback. You have done this correct, you're just left with this. Yeah? And focus on this and you can do well. Focus on your role as retail assistant and you will do well. Okay, some of us, when I go down to Cold Store or NTUC to do my assessment, I usually will ask them how do they enjoy their job, find a little bit of their goals first. Just in case the result C or NYC can just push them back to their goal along the way. Just with that bit, it will be okay. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Let me tell you this. Yeah, in real life. Okay, one of my colleague car tires got punctured 6 times after he NYC the candidate, and he put a police report. But the 6th time tire puncture is just painful, really, really painful. We get repercussions along the way as well. But my story is not is to tell you not NYC anyone, but to let you know there are consequences. So you got to relay your message in a very developmental approach. Yeah, Singapore NYC means can cry type You go Australia, NYC, reassessment is just a matter of more practice. You get it done. Singapore is like 考状元 like that. Sorry, Rakesh means go for Empress Scholar exam. That's very difficult. Yeah.
Have you had experiences where the candidate cried because they didn't get NYC?
Yes, of course. Just be prepared. Have a box of tissue and the toilet dustbin. When they start crying, stay with them for 1 minute. Then excuse yourself quietly. Bring the tissue paper. Now you can bring tissue paper. Bring the dustbin and let them cry.
What happens is NYC in Zoom.
Yeah, I just hope that the candidate don't have suicidal things. So whatever you do is just going to make sure the candidate is in good state. Yeah. I will make sure my candidate is in good state before they leave the room. Okay. So there are some that are really sad. They will try to appeal through you, through tears, through all sorts of things. Yeah. But you still have made your decision. That was why I encourage all of you to sign first. Okay, let me tell you, sign, make a decision. That's the decision. Because if you don't sign, all sorts of more tricks, depending on the emotional quotient of the person the other end. That can be pretty different. Some will tell you that if you NYC, there's a case, a gentleman, he put out complaints about you. If you NYC in this module days, I am going to quit it. That's smart. Take a deep breath and I think that's a separate decision. Your motivation to compete today is a separate decision from your ability to, from your lack of evidence demonstrated for this motive. I couldn't equate the two together. I couldn't. Yeah. There must be a bigger goal why you're doing it. Yeah. But there's a track I recorded. Every single record. That tiny video. Yep, but that's me. Yep. I don't take track very well from anyone, especially their own life goals track. Yeah. I couldn't equate the two together. Yeah. More practice in 2-step can finish or written assignment not finish. Argue don't come. You go and deeper, if you don't want to deeper, then after that give me all the crap on the actual day itself. Then after it helps, oh great if you don't give me a competent. I say, but that's not IS, so you must demonstrate your evidence to be a curriculum designer. You carry the weight of your institute curriculum. How can you say that? With a bit of refinement. I don't think you have time to finish. You've got time to finish it. Then you come for the next assessment. Life easy. But it's usually quite good. If the candidate is not good enough, I say don't come for this. Go and cheaper. It's 50% cheaper. And don't have all the emotional baggage. Yeah, that's the older version. Currently, we have to give feedback 3 days before. Previously, you just come submit and then you come for the assessment. We don't give interim feedback like 3 days before, right? You must give feedback, right? ACLP now requires us to give feedback. Yes, let's do a stretch. Yes, before. Previously, don't have. Yeah, so lesser number of NYC nowadays. Yeah, still got much less. Question so far? Okay.
Like, so I think that, you know, so the challenge I had, like, doing this exercise is, what if, like, this Arthur guy did everything except he forgot to say welcome to Live Smart, and then he fails the whole thing. Like, that's just not very fair, right? Like, so what would you do in that situation? Like, yes, okay, so he didn't say it, but
you can ask him, could you, I would like you to re-perform established customer requirement based on company SOP. And if you cannot show it, then you cannot show it. It could be an attitude issue, you didn't think that was important. It could be because you forgot about it. Yeah. Yeah. And so the assessment criteria, if it's not important, don't put it in the assessment criteria. Don't put anything not important inside the assessment criteria. So you can say he welcomed the customer, full stop, without saying that you must welcome using the standard greeting. In SIA, if you don't do the standard greeting by SIA, I guarantee you that the stewardess won't have a job the next month. Yes, it's the standard greeting. Yes, Joel.
Is there a minimum, at least not like 10 times, but also not 1-2 times? Maybe what is there like an average standard, like 3 times? Okay, that's it. I will not give more chance.
No. This assessment plan didn't specify it. It's for you to check with the stakeholder. If the stakeholder don't want to commit, if you make the decision. But you must at least recover one. There are some assessment plans that say you cannot recover, you cannot exercise flexibility because the skill set is just so important. Take for example my semiconductor industry. You operate the machine wrongly, that's $50 million, one run done. Yeah.
I think
Yep. Yes, Nadia. Yes.
Just would like to share. I went through one time going through assessment under WSQ for tour guide. That one is no mercy. That is basically like, if because they won't even give you time to recover. You're in front of supposedly tourists, the tourists are your assessors. If you miss even one small item that you're supposed to cover, they don't allow you to cover anything at all. They wait until the end of the assessment after the 2 hours. They will just NYC you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go for your driving test, there's no recovery as well.
Yeah.
It's just a test. Then redo again. Yes. Practice. Perfect. And have a checklist in front of you to guide you along the way. Also, Joel, I have no answer for that. Every institute, every assessment plan will have their own guidance. If in this case it's not at the start, you need to clarify with the stakeholders. Then, if they still don't want to advise, you will make a call yourself. So if you're struggling within the 30-minute duration and recovering many times, and you are struggling with that of a queue of a group of people outside, that is the code of ethics dilemma that you have. You have to exercise flexibility for lack of evidence. That's not flexibility for special rules. Yeah. You're struggling with number 7, collecting evidence, not enough. How many times to recover? Or not specified reliability issue. So I'm struggling between the assessment duration and my whole queue of people outside. 30 minutes per candidate. I cry. Yeah. Yeah. So different job has its own job roles, has its boundary, scope, and risk, a heartache as well. Okay, so the good thing about the current ACLP is the trainer can actually work with the learners clearly, provide feedback, and train closely. And you can see your learners' result and outcome based on the professional requirement. Yeah. But having said that, we have our deviations as well. And then the only thing for such deviation is I'll pick up a call and call the lady or the guy. I think you need me a bit more practice. I need or after the coaching, I'll let you know. But if not, then just go ahead. Like M5 writing quite bad there. They only got to patch this up. In fact, in class, I will already told them. After day 1, day 2, I think artifacts have given feedback to the group to make sure everything is done. Yeah. So in our current arrangement, trainer very stressful because trainer has to take the assessment result as well. Yeah. In our previous arrangement, our trainer and assessors are totally different people. Wow, the assessors, you can cry sometimes. You get the class that's unprepared, or trainer play too much games, not enough time to go through the details. You know. Then you pick up very good candidate from good trainers. You make sure you give them a continue what you're doing. You're excellent. It was a breeze to clear your class. Excellent. Credit goes to the class, but credit also goes to the trainer. Yeah. Okay. So with that, you say thank you to your candidate and say, okay, encourage them a bit, make sure they are on good state. Okay, and make sure they continue as part of lifelong learning and progression. Yeah, very, very important. I once have an Australian boss in IAL. We hired them in our first run when we transfer WSQ from Australia to Singapore. He comes to work about 7:30 in the morning. He will walk around the classroom, and if I've finished setting up the room, he will stop in. He will only disturb us when he see that we have finished setting up our flip chart and rooms, and then he will talk to you, and then usually just me and another trainer. Because the other trainer finished setting up by 7. Mine is about 7:15. Then he'll ask us questions. And there was one thing he asked, if the candidate is competent, do you still give them feedback for improvement? I say that sometimes no, sometimes yes, depending on how the learner performs. He says we might want to think about even the candidate is competent. You might want to tell him or her how she can further upgrade or sharpen skills from their current state into mastery state. I thought that was very valuable. Up to today, I still remember some of these things. Yeah. Okay, so that's the role of an assessor. When you finish, check your record. Every paper done. Staple all the work. Put it in the folder. Then submit to IAL, your stakeholders immediately. Usually within 24 hours. We should complete. My very good assessors all complete within the same day and finish it. Because the moment you bring home, you know that you're going to spend another 3 hours for this stack of documents, depending on number of candidates that you have. Yeah. But before you submit, of course, check all the signature, all the decision, all the marking is done. Because if it's one page of empty paper that goes back, it gives the impression that we were not rigorous in our evidence collection. Yeah, you don't want skills future to pick it up 6 months down the road. Yeah. Yeah. I know there are a lot of us that just complete the record at the end of the day. But when we teach, we are supposed to imbue the right practices. Okay, that's the assessment model. That's it. Okay, it's actually quite a simple process. If you don't, this piece is a killer. Okay, this piece is definitely a killer. This piece of marking and observing is a killer. Okay, but that comes from practice itself. Then mainly those two things are killers themselves. Yeah. This map continues to be the most powerful map for the whole course. I've actually distributed this to trainers, to colleagues as well. So they think this helps them up a lot. Okay, you won't be needing to videotape anything. I put the video like segments like that. Okay, it allows me to record for online session, offline session, just break it up along the way. Yeah, in fact, this is by reading this, you already know what to do next. Yeah. The other piece that is quite useful is my observation checklist, but that one I already emailed you, but I'm not going to use time here to talk about it. Okay, Ken? Okay, so all of you, when you finish your assessment plan, my suggestion is clean it up, upload, get it off your back. So then you have time to focus on your practice. Text me if you have a question. Go ahead and do that. I'm a bit busy. I have an M1 class day 2. But all the WA1 has finished, which I'm very glad. I'm now seeing half the class WA1B. I think all of it will come by tomorrow. But I will still have time to respond to your questions. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Means that we are submitting with all our artifacts as well, right?
No artifacts, just your assessment plan first. Artifacts, we can do it after your coaching.
Okay.
Or you have a lot of artifacts, the rest don't have, so it's okay. So then I can do it later. Yeah.
We have a lot.
His signage, all PowerPoint slides all done up already. Joel. The rest is okay. We can still develop the tools and resources. I don't want to stress you all for today. Today is just the assessment plan. Yeah. We all learn differently and operate differently. Each of us will do different things, but that's fine. That's life. Yeah.
So the assessment plan, the one we watch all the videos, we remain all the inputs there.
No, that one is for today. Yeah, I will still read and revert later. Yeah. But when you upload, you will take away all the inputs because you want a clean assessment plan to mark me. Yeah.
So we only leave the 7.5 and 7.6.
The whole assessment plan with a change of 7.5, 7.6. You need the full assessment plan to conduct the assessment. Okay, your briefing, if you don't want to upload, that's fine. I'm not going to bobble over it. Okay, those who want you to print must tell clearly that you want me to print, or else I will print for you. Yeah. For me, I will print a set of your work from Canvas for my own use. You can use that as a backup plan if you want to. But if you want me to print in IAL using your print for you, so on that day you have the printed copy, you have to let me know early. Yeah, usually I'll print like 3 days in advance. One night I'll come in down and I'll print. I don't come on that day to print. It's just too messy for yeah. Yeah, prep work has to be done early. Yeah. Bella? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused. So, like the assessment plan that we actually have to upload on Canvas is just whatever we've sent you before, 7.5, 7.6, and then we do all the corrections within the AP. That's it?
Yeah. You
Right?
submit the whole thing.
Yeah, because like the rest of the pages, we actually don't need to do anything except for
No,
some.
you can't. You
Yeah,
just
so-
attend.
So we only have like 4 things to submit, which is like one is like the cover page, and then this one is the number
There's
2.
no cover page yet. This
I
is
know.
just for coaching, just this.
Okay, so anyways, you want us to upload this one first, and then we
Just
can come
this.
back to
Ah.
the other like.
After the coaching, then this is where you upload the self-assessment, peer review, assessment plan, and the cover page. Currently, nothing else. Currently, it's just this document.
So means part 4 to part 5, the practice you went through just now should be just empty lah.
Yeah, you submit this whole document. And because you got to use a empty one for. What I did was get you all to practice, so that you know on today, what are the pointers we met and we didn't meet. Yeah. Yeah. So, is to share during the practice, because if you don't do that today, it's going to be even more difficult. At least you are more aware what's going to be and what's not going to be. Yeah.
So the one that you're talking about, like me and Marcus, right, we already submitted in the Canvas, so we don't need to
Submit again.
Submit
But you
again.
got errors, right?
Oh,
you
so
got
I need to
errors, how to
rectify the
submit?
error. I need to rectify the error and resubmit again,
You
lah.
don't submit. Today I'll go in, I'll bend down all the pointers.
Okay.
Things.
So I submit through email or Canvas?
Canvas.
Canvas, huh? Okay, okay.
I think my feedback very specific, right?
Mm.
You all can
Yep.
do your self-check, right?
Yeah. So we just
Uh-huh.
go through their feedback, then we just rectify the changes, then we resubmit it in the Canvas. lah.
Only a CF, I forgot to tell him the 7.6. He need to pen in the stakeholders. Who are the person providing you with the session plan? Who are the people providing you with the role play? Yes. Yeah. Just upload it. It's okay. Just upload. Don't say anything. Just upload. Yeah, that's it. And then after the coaching, still got to refine. Then upload again. Big deal. Yeah. I don't know the difference between the draft and the final. When ILC put in the draft, I can put in the draft. If you put in the final, I put in the final. Yeah, because you can still update. We can go back and trace your previous copy as well. We can trace back all your previous copies. Not as good as Google Slides though, but yeah. Okay, so it's actually not a difficult module. Yeah. Maybe the oral question can be a bit tiring, but it's not a difficult module. You'll have a 15-minute break, then you'll come back and do the oral questions. Yeah, there'll be a bit of work on the oral question. Yeah. The role play itself is not difficult. I mean, the briefing, you got the thing, you know what instruction to give, but it's just pulling the things together. It's like, oh my god, what instruction, got this, got that, where you find your document. That was why this is going to help you out.
Can I just ask you a question? I'm just
Of
trying
course,
to
Nadia.
visualize.
Mm.
I'm just trying to visualize the assessment on that day itself. I know there's going to be coaching and all that, and then you mentioned that as you go along, you pick what is the evidence that you have seen based on what has been presented by the learner. But does it mean to say you will be looking at that piece of tick as the evidence as part of the assessment, meaning to say once you mentioned, right, the whole assessment ends when you already give the assessment result and then acknowledgement is done. So with that is actually part of our assessment when we are actually doing it on you as a learner.
Yes, of course.
Right. Okay.
As a result, you have to demonstrate that you are able to conduct assessment based on the assessment plan, valid, consistent with the assessment plan. You have to collect sufficient evidence, rules of evidence. Yeah.
Okay.
And then make valid assessment decision using the assessment record, rules of evidence. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So wear the hat of the tester. So in fact, your preparation is beforehand, check with stakeholders. So this is the part, Joel, you say that a number of recovery is not there, you can clarify with the stakeholders. Then on the actual day, or you prepare your log, on the actual day you do this, and that's your preparation. Or preparation of site using your log checklist. Make sure you are ever ready. Prepare your people to make sure your candidate is in a good state for assessment. Then once after preparing ready, whatever is on your table is your assessment record for role play for oral questions. Try not to take the wrong record to record the wrong thing. Oral questions record role play to record oral questions. Okay, remember role play just show me the evidence, oral questions to tell me the evidence as part of competency. Yeah, we can laugh, okay. Okay, so don't shake your head, leh. Okay, can't go wrong, right? Okay, this is a very clever class. Okay, only the person who didn't attend today, so I have to worry about it. Okay.
Sorry, one question. Is there going to be a break soon?
Of course. Yes, I'm just, I'm winding down a little bit, and then I'm going to speed up later on for the oral questions. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
those who need a break can go for a break. Joel, yes, question.
Okay. No, I mean, so for our record on our summative assessment, do we need to do a record? I mean, recording the role play. I think in some of the sessions that we need to record and submit up to IAL. No need, huh? Okay.
If it's in Zoom, the Zoom itself fully record everything.
Right.
That's why my auditor can come and tell me that or tell my assessor that your evidence that versus your assessment record doesn't tally or whatever, And then you know what I mean? Because it's the IL Zoom. And then in the IL classroom is also fully recorded. Our powerful video and our microphone on top of us also record everything. My auditor can see that, so you don't have to video record it. I think with technology, we're really progressing very fast.
Okay, noted.
Yeah. So bring
sorry, there's one question, right? Sorry to burst the bubble.
No, go ahead.
Do they supposed to end about 5 o'clock based on the IL website?
No problem. Oh, not 6, is it?
Not 6.
Who check for me? Thank you.
I can pass you the screenshot now.
No worry, he wants to finish. No need. Thanks for checking. I just mark attendance for all of you at 5. I'm also happy to go for 5. Then I can go dinner with my mama. I go and buy dinner and have dinner with my mama.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. If it's a bit 6 o'clock, I will also buy dinner and have dinner with my mama. Yes.
Okay.
No, thanks for watching time for me. I asked you all 6, you all say yes. I said okay, mutually agreed.
Hey Marcus, it's 4:30 lah.
Huh?
4:30.
Not 4, man.
Oh, I think 4.
Nadia, you have quite a fun class, yeah? Nadia?
Yeah.
Oh, you will miss each other, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, for those who want to go for break, you go for break. Okay.
20 minutes.
10, no problem. Y'all deserve it. Yeah. 20 minutes. I think we're off the
Recording
recording a bit.
stopped.
I need 1 or 2 persons to stay back to teach me how I can encourage Yin a bit more. Only for those who want. Okay, I'm not going to ask all of you. The rest go for your break. Those who are willing to stay. A bit
I think you're the first example to give him.
Keith.
Me again.
First example to give him what? Give him what?
NYC.
No, like you cannot qualify for even coaching. How to
Very
NYC?
flip table. NYC.
But I mean the previous modules, if he already got competent, there's no change, right? It's just competent already.
Unless the IL can have data that he actually copied from someone else.
I think first one he copied was CF1, if I'm not mistaken, M1.
Because all of us only started talking at M5. All of us were quite generous from
And
M1.
like that, my M3 also he copied one.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? But then his plagiarism index is how high?
Super high.
Super high.
But it's not only his, that it's his and yours. That, do you know what I mean? Whoever he copied, right, the number will go up. It is two of you, it's not
The
just
whole
one.
this whole class almost kena.
Everybody has a,
All of us that work with him, right? We know that he always have an easy pass taking other people work.
How do you allow it in the first? How does the trainer allow it? Especially just now, you're saying the M4 trainer saw flash up and it was exactly the same. Then the trainer didn't say anything.
And M5 also, we don't know how he managed to get
I think what Christian wanted to do is for him to change, maybe. So giving him
a chance.
You know that this has been happening, but on our end, like amongst us, we already know how he is like.
Usually, this kind of cases, right? IL heard it from the learner one.
But we don't.
Let's not spend time on this guy. I mean, we can talk to the end and it's still not clarified, you know. Yeah.
Anyway, the coaching he's doing with Wicked.
No lah.
No.
He's doing with
But himself, right?
We get Nadia save Damien already. Nadia scoop Damien directly to partner with her. The way I was like, that evening class, I was like, wow, this is very fast.
Nadia on standby.
Because Isha wanted Wicked all the way, but then I don't know what.
And I please scoop Damien with you. I was like, oh, there's some dynamic that's happening in this class that I didn't know.
It's a special relationship.
Just zen my expression. Don't reveal anything. It was my first lesson, you know. How would you expect me to respond? Just zen. No, this is a very interesting dynamic, you know. And he looked damn poor thing at that point.
Yeah, Nadia still hurry up.
Then we get always cool and steady one quiet.
Okay lah. We eat a bit more salt and get bullied a little bit, but it's still okay. I just hope that the person builds a bit of integrity, because it's going to be quite. If that's the case, then it should be easy for IL to find out the amount of plagiarism index. You know, over time the machine is pretty good. The machine, you can actually check your own plagiarism. Do you know that? You can download and then check from there. It's pretty good. Yeah. Whether he can continue or not, I'll let IL decide. Yeah. But then if IL allows him to continue, I will cry. 1.5 hours to cover a lot of things back is just a lot. Yeah. Yeah. He's a very young only, right? He looks super, super young.
That's why we call him young boy.
He's 22.
22
Hey, but 22, I remember when I was 22, I was not like that. Sorry. I just finished my NS, right? Just really start working and start to study also, save money.
We always got like that one last time.
Hey, but you must remember, no, he don't have any funding. He go for this self-sponsored. He can spend this kind of money.
That one is not.
But he's a Singaporean, what? It's already funded, what? So.
We also fund ourselves, I also save up for my uni.
It's okay lah. Hope that he built some credibility over time. Yes, for good future. Yes. Okay, so we are going to go towards oral questions. I would like you to take a look at the list of oral questions I've just emailed you. Okay. It feels a little bit of. I put some answers in there. Okay, but there are certain parts we need to fill up. Okay, those that you need to answer for oral question 1, we will have to fill up. Let me just open the correct version. Okay, so this is the oral question that we're going to handle. This is actually the first question, first and second question combined. Okay. You know where to find the answers for this? Identify the 3 issues on the assessment plan. Who are the stakeholders you're going to confirm with? And what are you going to confirm?
Women, you
Hi.
you need to start your recording because just now you pause your recording.
Can. Wow, Kamsia. I forgot about that. Okay, done. Thank
Recording
you very
in
much.
progress.
I always forget. Yeah. Then I get reminder from Ayao. How did time come to finish your recording? Okay, good. This one. Okay, so this is one of the oral questions.
You
Okay.
got this one, man?
I just email you. I just email before I run for the toilet break. Yeah.
I think the first issue is maybe the latest version.
Yeah. Very good. So
Because
you know
it's in 2019. Yeah.
Huh?
2019 version.
In this slide itself. Let me go to here. Okay, then we have all the answers here.
Yeah.
Okay, this part. Nadia, you might miss out this one. We are going to catch back on this one. Yeah. But no worry, you definitely can catch back on here.
Alright.
Okay, this one. Yep. So one of the issue is the version. Okay. Yeah. It may be outdated. So you request copy from the stakeholders, right? Number 2. Let me do a box on this. Yeah. Yeah, we have discussed this before. Yeah. Okay, so the principles of assessment is the POA, right? Principles of assessment, validity. Yeah. So you review this with the operation manager. It can be the HR manager if you want to. Whether this is the most updated copy, they confirm that yes, you currently can use the current version. Let me make it clearer. Okay, operation manager, current, you can use the current version of the assessment plan. Okay, that will be one issue. Okay, if one of you got a catalog for the whole class, this is fine. Another issue that you may see in the assessment plan out of this page, anyone can find? Number 4. Yeah.
I think this one belongs to the part 4 to part 6, but I can't identify the difference.
Which paragraph you can't identify the difference? Paragraph 4 and
4, yeah, I think point number 4. The AP did not mean the industry.
Okay, Ken, I will elaborate on this.
Yeah.
Okay, but how about the legal requirement lemon law? And section, let me see. Like this one, the section 1.3, right? 1.4. Exchange and refund policy not included in assessment requirement for role play and oral question. Yeah. So you need to review it for future. Currently, just use the current version. Okay. So these are the 3 areas for this page. Okay. Can I explain point 4 to all of you? Yeah. Okay. So this is how it works. For this assessment plan itself, okay, they use the following ability statement and knowledge statements from the TSC of Product Advisory, which is here. You can also find it in your role play, section 4. If you map all these things to the TSC on Product Advisory, okay, you will find out that the AP did not meet all the in retail industry standard. Okay, whether in section 4 or here. Okay, so this is the part I'm talking about in red, that they did not fully meet the retail industry standard. let me share with you where to find the retail industry standard. Okay, so instead of you going to search, I actually cut it out for all of you under here.
So, Miss, doing our
Yeah.
assessment, do you need to really bring out the skills framework and compare and show to you?
Very good, Key. In fact, I've done it for you. It is in this slide called slide 37 in our Google slide. I actually highlight to you that they list out these two abilities show me statement. They miss out all these knowledge statements. So the assessment plan is not up to date. This is level 1. Yeah. So these things are missing. So you just click to this slide and tell me that, as a result, they didn't meet the retail industry framework because these are missing. Okay. I don't think you all have time to search this. Okay? So it didn't meet the industry required. Would that be okay? CF, you cool guy. Okay? Can?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, typing down only.
Okay. Can. So our assessment plan is at level 1, not level 3. Level 3 is for supervisor. Ours is at level 1. Okay. Lisa, okay. Joyce, okay. Jyoti? Okay. Good. Very good. Okay, you only need to highlight 3 points. If you don't like this point, you have other points to highlight as well. Okay, then the other part is the lemon law one. Lemon law one I just highlight again because not everyone really understands that. Assessment document is such a thick piece of document. In 1.4, the purpose and context of assessment. 1.4 here. Okay, they say that the assessment plan here must meet the company SOP, industry standard is here, and the lemon law. There's 3 points. Okay, but for lemon law, exchange and refund, here they stated clearly a purpose and context, right? When you go down to the role play for assessment record for role play, you read the whole thing. They only have a manufacturer's product warranty, no exchange and refund policy. Yeah. So it's not in the role play criteria. It's also not in the oral question criteria because the oral question criteria for here again is the manufacturer's warranty but not the exchange and refund policy. How do I know? How do I know? It's because 7.3, 7.4, at the back of 7.4, they state the LiveSmart Emporium exchange and refund policy is only 7 days from the date of purchase. Yeah, not 1 year. 1 year is all product after sales service. Yeah. Yeah. So that is one example. Okay. Okay. So those are number 5. Okay. Then the next page itself, the assessment duration is not consistent. Okay. So that's another issue. And today we have another issue which is highlighted by Joel on section 3, handling limitation of evidence for role play and oral question. Okay. AP did not specify the number of times for recovery. So assessor will operate differently. Did not specify the number of times for recovery. Number of times for recovery. So it's a reliability issue, POA reliability issue. because assessor operates inconsistently. Okay, so potentially who you clarify this, you can clarify with HR manager or ops manager. That's fine. I leave it to you. I'm not sticky with the stakeholders. Different company will have different stakeholders requirement. Is that okay? Can? Okay, so out of these, you can choose 3 issues. Okay, potentially those highlighted in yellow. I should highlight this in yellow too. Okay, then this is quite an easy one. Give me a moment. Okay, this is also a very easy one. When remember your assignment, you are invited by ListSmart to conduct this assessment, right? And then, so what should you ask the stakeholders? One of the things is the issue with the assessment plan, but there's also a very practical issue is, by the way, for the retail associate that we are assessing, what product is he selling? Who's going to provide the role play resources for me? So you don't have to go and buy those role play resources, and you can also assess the candidate based on his job scope, right? Yeah, and then the role play resources can be available for you. This is a very practical piece. Yeah, this part is fair because or else you assess someone selling electronics and you assess this one them using a different product could be quite different. Black transfer or the yeah. Okay with that question? Y'all are taking down notes, is it? Or okay, I'll give you time. You got time. So pick 3 of the yellow ones. Yeah, and put from there. Yeah.
Women, did you say something?
I said no, I just say that you can cut pictures and put it into your own quiz book. It's fine for me. I don't really bother. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's the first question. Yeah. Then the next set of questions will be this part. Where is my oral presentation? Here. So this is done. Okay. How do you ensure your setup is conducive and consistent? Okay, so I actually cut the slide and put it here for you. Yeah. Remember what is the word that you need to take note of? So we talk about conducive, people talk about aircon and lighting and all that, right? But potentially you have to look at the availability of assessment plan, this part. Everything is ever ready. I think this is important. Then the consistency is the use of a logistic checklist. Yeah. Can? Yeah. Is this part for conduciveness? Sometimes we did not take note of it. For your own presentation, you have to answer using your own responses. You can't use my script. Of course. Yeah. Thank you. So this part is okay? Yeah. Okay, so this is the second question. Then the next question will be principles of assessment. Okay, these are all the answers. There's no oral question on this. Okay, there are no oral questions on this at all. Okay, that's why I can give you the answer. You all got me, right? So why do I put it in? Because you still have self-reflection to write about. So this gives you some of the guidelines. Is that okay? Can? There's no oral question. That's why I can do it. Yeah. I think we also did something during the lesson. Rules of evidence. How do you collect valid enough evidence? Current evidence and authentic evidence. Yeah. Current evidence is also direct form of evidence. I have a near port quiz, but I think it takes too long. Yeah, since that's not covered in the oral question, it's an important theory. We can still, the personal reflection requires a bit of write-up on this. So you may not remember what it is, you can always refer to this note. Can? Yeah. So then the next question will be here. Yeah, this is very important. Okay, so potentially code of practice applied, you don't really have to worry about it, but it's more, this question is not an oral question. I need to observe that you have done that. That's all. However, the oral question is this one. One challenge and dilemma you have encountered during the assessment. Which code of practice was impacted? Okay, so if I give you Taylor Swift ticket, that will be, giving you gifts will be, which one? Conflict of interest. Okay, give you present, gifts, or for bribery, it's called conflict of interest. Thank you. Okay, if adjusting to the learner's special need takes so much time, I struggle with it. Okay, it could be adjusting with sensitivity, takes a lot of time. It affects the duration for me to conduct the assessment. So you could actually combine this and this. By adjusting so much special need, I may not be able to keep within the 30-minute session. Yeah, if the learner has too many special needs. If I want to sign and go, which two are affected? If I want to sign and go, remember the one I keep saying, very important number? Yeah? 7 and 9. Yeah, if I want to sign and go, can I do that? No, you're not able to. Because of the purpose of assessment, and I need to collect evidence that is valid and need to determine enough evidence to prove competence. So as assessors, we need to conduct assessment within the boundary of the assessment system, policies and procedure. I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that. Nadia gave the answer earlier just now. Is that okay? Yeah? So this one will cater to manager sign and go. I want to sign and go, and can I complete the assessment in half time? 7 and 9 will be affected. Yeah. because I one learner once told me, not only 7 and 9 is affected, my impression of the learner is affected. So throughout the whole assessment, I must make sure that this request does not affect my judgment of the candidate. That's a pretty good one as well. So 7, 9, and 5. Okay, but I'm not going to add stress to you. Okay, in coaching, you can clarify if there are others in other code of practice that you will apply. I take a practical view to apply law. That was why I like business law a lot, because I only apply things in a practical manner. Okay? Is that okay? Can? Okay, the next part is about the WSQ principle. Okay, so I want you all to maybe discuss as a class what are the 4 principles of WSQ. Have you all covered WSQ in M2? You all did. Who's your trainer in M2? Excellent. Tiok Ching. Is it Tiok Ching?
Jaslyn.
She will cover. That's very good. I must thank her for it. Yes, a lot of trainers don't cover WSQ. Okay. WSQ. Maybe I should show you a picture first of WSQ before I go into this. Okay. The 4 which is the picture I can show you. This is my M1. My M1 learner see the slides. Hold on. At E1, I think it's good that you see this as well. ILM1, 2. Okay. Okay, this is M1. Sorry about this. Okay, so in the WSQ ACLP, right? All of you have received your statement of attainment for module 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes? Yes? Have you received a statement of attainment for in your My Skills Future Passport?
1 to 5.
Yeah, some of you 1 to 5, 1 to 4. Okay, SOA receive. After E1, you will receive 6 statement of attainment and 1, give me a moment, and 1 assessment, ACLP qualification. This is what you will get. Okay, 6 statement of attainment saying that you completed all modules successfully and competent, and ACLP. And once you receive this, you can claim for your Skills Future Award. Okay, so this is the qualification you will be receiving. So why did I show you this? Because under the WSQ principle, okay, the statement of attainment, this part, who backs the WSQ system? The WSQ statement of attainment and the qualification is backed by whom? Anyone remember? Well, the answer is here, right? By whom? The CRES means the Singapore government, and exactly skillsfuture.sg. Yeah? Rings a bell for M2? Rings a bell for M2? Also, and that's why it's in your My Skills Future Passport, and you get all your eCert. The system is not just the qualification you receive, but the audit that IEL has to go through to approve the courseware, to approve the system. Pretty rigorous for that. Yeah, good. Then the second thing, Marcus is coming. Give me a moment. Wait for him to come first. Okay, so the WSQ system is backed by the Singapore government. Marcus, you're in, Marcus?
Oh yeah, power surge.
Okay, Ken. The WSQ statement of attainment plus your qualification is backed by Singapore government, skillsfuture.sg. Okay, so every one of your module in ACLP, okay, is relevant to the training and adult educator industry skill standards. Remember, skill standards or skills map and TSC. Okay, that is for ACLP. But for this assessment plan on product advisory itself is not the ACLP part. It's relevant to not the TAE, but the retail industry framework. Yeah. So what does that mean? We take it from the skills map. Okay, and specifically the technical skills competency, and within which the ability and knowledge statements. Okay, very good. The next principles of WSQ is accessible. Everyone can apply to learn and relearn and upgrade. Okay, but the only catch to accessibility is the fees or the subsidy is different. Yeah, for foreigners, they are not subsidized at all. They pay full fees. The Singaporeans are subsidized at a certain fee. Yeah, but anyway, you don't have to do that. But basically, the WSQ is accessible to all. The only thing is you also do not need to have academic prerequisite. So for ACLP, do you know what is required to join ACLP? It's not your A-level or O-level or degree, right? Do you know what is needed to join ACLP? Anyone can remember? It's actually just O-level English to join ACLP. We don't need any qualification. So that's why we make ACLP very accessible for everyone who needs it. Yeah? Okay. So the last principle, we remember the WSQ principle with this thing called PARA or RAPA, which is relevance, authority, progression, accessibility. So the first three is easy. The last one, the progression, is also easy. Okay, for WSQ courses, we group them by how many levels? Anyone remember? 6 levels. Very good. You all remembered. 6 levels of qualification. It allows the retail associate to upgrade their skills. This is important because some of the retail shops do not train the retail staff on the full qualification. They only train them one module for the skills they need to perform their job. So retail associate can work there for 3 years and realize that they only have one certification. They can't cross over. Okay, so a lot of them have learned to upgrade their skills directly by enrolling in the retail industry training institutes, the Singapore Institute of Retail Association or Retail Association directly. Then they can finish their full qualification. They can upgrade their skills when they want to as well. Especially for people who left out from school, they can use that to upgrade themselves. Yeah, so the progression part, very beautiful. So for this, okay, so this part is the 4 principles. Explain when you use the product advisory, how do you apply the WSQ principle? Okay, we'll test it out during the oral questions or coaching. Okay, so this is about authority. SSG MOE backs up all the qualification, the audit and the quality assurance, and the curriculum development, skills map and everything. This is the thing about the industry standards that they need to meet, the TSC, relevance to industry. The third one, accessibility, I don't have a slide, but basically this is the qualification. The assessment plan you have focus on there are 6 levels. Very good, you all mentioned. Your assessment plan currently is at level 1 because section 1.3 mentioned that this is assessing them at retail at certificate level at level 1. But this course on product advisory does not contribute to the full cert. It only contributes to one statement of attainment. Product advisory only contribute to one statement. Product advisory contribute to one statement of attainment in the cert qualification. Okay. Like ACLP, one module is not the whole qualification. So the qualification potentially will have about 5 modules or something like that. They need to complete SOAs to complete and attain. Then they will be issued a qualification. So good thing about progression is the staff can later on, after finishing the certificate level, take up courses at the supervisory level on their own. Then over time, when they finish, they can also apply to a different company to look for a new job, etc. However, there are certain companies like the NTUC FairPrice, they really train and co-store, they train all their retail staff on at least 5 SOA for most of them. And FairPrice actually trained them about 10 SOA at the retail level. So that auntie uncle in their shop can actually have a job enlargement. They can go beyond handling vegetables to handling maybe some of the merchandise when they are called to do so. Their cashiering duty is a little bit difficult, but it's not compulsory one, but they may not do that, but they will learn other skills. Yeah. Here, and then over time they can actually upgrade themselves and go to advanced certificate. Yeah. Union-based companies are more expensive in training. They provide more training. XPAN, not PEN. Okay. Then after that, there's another question. Explain the types and level of WSQ. Okay, you use this slide to explain the types and level. Level 1 is at cert, level 3 advanced cert. Managers is usually at diploma level. Yeah. So in the industry currently, there's a lot of job shifting from in the last year from shipping industry to the retail industry, actually last 2 years. Okay, so when they join under the career transition program, Co-Store and FairPrice will provide training at diploma level, potentially with retail association or CERN. Okay, but these managers to be in between their formal courses, they have to go down and learn from the FairPrice trainer all the skills of 5 to 6, 8 skills under the certificate level for their retail assistant. And this made a lot of them very unhappy. So they spoke to me and I told them that at point of recruitment, we need to tell the managers that although they are hired as managers, they are required to give feedback to the staff on their skills at the ground level. And that's why all the managers need to be certified competent in here before they can pick up their job. Yeah. So it's part of the transparent explanation process. And then if the managers don't like to do that, obviously then this is not an industry for them. Okay, managers on the ground has a lot, shop managers has a lot of responsibilities. Okay, so this is the WSQ question. If out of the WSQ question, there are actually, as long as you can answer these 2 questions, WSQ principles and types and level of WSQ qualification, that's good enough. Yeah. Okay, so in my slides, where is my slides? Under here. Yeah. Wait. in my PowerPoint slide is reflected in the list of oral questions at the beginning. So your oral question will include the 3 areas on assessment plan. Okay, I group this as question 1. I group this as question 2. Okay, the keyword is conducive, consistent. Okay, conducive is about, we explain, the dilemma and challenges faced upholding code of practice. Your 3 strength and area of improvement, of course, this is what you will share with me in coaching. Yeah, and your WSQ principles, the 4 of them, and the types and levels. Check the 4 main questions that you need to handle. 4 sets of main questions. Is that okay? And I put it in the document that I just emailed you. Can you imagine in my 1 hour, I need to ask you the 4 oral questions? No slides needed from you. Yeah. Most people take about 15 minutes, but IL provided 20 minutes for this. And yeah. Can? Okay, so this is in the top few slides, slide 8 itself. So the learners share with me compared to M4, E1 is less heavy duty than doing the on-the-job training. But in terms of marking, recording, the rigor, you got to be very familiar with the record and just work out the entire process, know where are the instructions to give, when to collect the evidence, how to summarize, and the giving feedback portion. I think that's the most challenging for them. Yeah? Can? You realize in your coaching process, this will be quite easy. It's just that we really got to, the moment you come in and I say, okay, 1 table here, 1 table here, let's set up and roll. 2 will set up together. I don't have time to 1 set up now and 1 set up later. The moment you come in, set up, done. Yeah. Then we work from there. Okay, can? I do need about an hour of your process. I definitely will meet that nicely. Yeah, last module, yeah, enjoy ourselves. Yeah. So, all my criteria is really, really outlined to you. Okay, it's in my slides, and I think some of you may think that it's not clear enough. It's also in the handout I've given to all of you. Your class is B1. Yeah. Is my L assessor observation checklist. Hold on. Is in my that 1 whole page that I've given all of you all the time, the landscape page. During your coaching, I will use this to give you feedback. Okay, and this mirrors every single criteria needed to be demonstrated. Okay. There are certain things I pen down here. Check with learner. Are you ready to begin? It's not in the criteria, but it's a very good practice. I've seen so many appeal because learner and assessors are on different page. Yeah, I will add that in. But this one, I just mirror all the assessment process. You realize I say talk about the assessment process here. Okay. Don't memorize your pre-assessment briefing. Use your checklist. In our job, you don't really need to memorize anything. Yeah, just pay attention to your learner, listen and acknowledge, know the importance in the purpose context. Then of course you're required to conduct a NYC assessment outcome, which is I'm supposed to produce it, the NYC result. So before role play and oral question, you need to provide clear instructions. You need to record promptly, okay? Check that they are complete at the end. Justify assessment decision. This part is more in your self-assessment, yeah, personal reflection. Handle not enough evidence for role play. You are able to ask them to re-perform starting at one step before. For oral question, you can rephrase question. That's good enough. At the end of the assessment, after you summarize the assessment decision and the recording, record clearly, you will give feedback to the learner. This one mirror my inputs in your slide as well. Invite learner, how did you perform? I'll tell you the areas done well. For you, there will be oral questions, did very well. Last role play. Yeah? Areas did well. Then areas of gap, state the specific task not meeting criteria, provide guidance, how to improve, be sensitive, NYC result, okay, provide proper guidance, inform them the outcome. I know the IELTS assessment say tell the learner the outcome first. I think the learner result is competent, you can always tell them it's competent first, congrats. But it's not yet competent that I usually will tell them the feedback first, then the outcome. So then I won't be burdened with all the emotion pause that comes out after I tell the result. Yeah. Then if it's NYC, inform candidate the right and process of appeal. Ask them whether they want to appeal, inform them they have opportunity for reassessment, complete the proper signature, thank the candidate. Yeah. And all these are more for your references. Yeah. Yeah. It was in the old criteria. Okay, but potentially this is what we have been pitching for in all our M1 or M4 or M3 training as well. It's just that for assessment itself, you need to at some point be very firm and you still got to be composed. Huh? So when you come to IEL, at least a polo t-shirt, no shorts, no slippers. Yep. So this is still the marking criteria, no difference. So I present in an overview, I present in a checklist. They are still the same thing. Now, can? Wow, thank you. We have a full Saturday together and 3 full nights. 1, 2, 3, 4 together. Yep. So today we have a bit more applied practice, consolidated. Okay? Thank you very much for working hard on the assessment plan. At least one big rock is down. Yeah. Then the rest of it, have a good weekend, read a bit, etc. I think that's good. Okay. If any one of you want to start working on your self-reflection, you can. But basically your self-reflection is still the same thing, no difference. Okay. I planted the deadline for you like 12 June 30th. Okay, so potentially how you prepare the venue, you develop a log checklist to check that all things are available, and you can and use the log checklist to check before you when you complete the setup. Then how you bring your candidate. Okay, so the principle here will be what? Fairness. Okay, how you handle their special needs, etc. How did you conduct the assessment method specified in the assessment plan? Okay, I use the assessment plan to conduct the assessment. I carry out role play and oral question based on the assessment plan. This part, not enough evidence. When the candidate did not demonstrate enough evidence in role play, I have to use the technique of probe, not prompt. And we can elaborate a little bit. And when the candidate did not understand the question and couldn't answer, I rephrase the question. That requires me to know how to recover at the beginning. Yeah? Then the next part, record evidence promptly, at least during the role play and oral questions. Yeah, all the things must be ticked or marked at the end. Then there's this part on how do you observe the POA and ROE in making the assessment decision. So this is where I have some of the guided examples so that you can borrow from there and write whatever makes sense to you. If not, we can discuss during the coaching session. Then providing feedback, IL was very kind. They actually put down all the assessment criteria inside here. Okay, but he didn't talk about the assessment decision though. It's only the feedback from that. Yeah. Then tell them the assessment outcome. They forgot about reassessment process here as well. Yeah, so you have all the answers in the notes for you. Yeah, so that's about it. And at the end of your coaching, I will give you my observation feedback, and then I will ask you to attach it as a photograph in your self-assessment form. So most of my learners, I'll ask them on that night, take a picture, and then dump it at the next page. Okay, facilitator's feedback, done. Yeah, that will be your facilitator's observation checklist. Yeah. Some of my learners will capture a picture of their setup and put it there. I'll leave that. It's not required. Okay, questions so far. I'm done for today. BRB means be right back.
Sorry, can you explain difference between probe and prompt again?
Yes, I will. Differences between probe and prompt. That will be slide here. Okay. Probing means to prompt people means that you are giving hints to people to come up with answer. This part. This is me giving hints to people to come up with answer. Okay, as a assessor, we cannot give hints because we need the learner to be able to perform the skills independently or to a large extent the initial stage of a psychomotor skills called developed precision, not totally precise but developed precision. Okay, so as a result, as a assessor, we are not trainers, we cannot probe, we can only prompt. Okay? No, we cannot prompt, sorry, not prompt, we can only probe. Probe means that we use question, we rephrase question at the question and the intent level of the question for the learners to come up with an answer. That's for not enough knowledge. So you use rephrase question, you break it into short sentences, you use simple English, or you ask the learner to elaborate. Okay? During the when you were selling this, what happened? Could you tell me more? Okay, but for skills, you cannot tell the learner this is what you didn't show. Okay, we need the learner to redo the skills to make sure that they know how to do the skills on their own without you hinting that, hey, you've got to do this. Can you just do this? For training, you can do that. For assessment, even for training, you should ask the learner to begin from the beginning of the steps and string a few steps together. Okay, so that and string a few steps together to show competence itself. Yeah, that's called probing technique for skills. Yeah, for process evidence not enough. Task step not shown. Recovery using an earlier step is useful. For product evidence not enough. Take for example the form incomplete. Okay, the final floor, after they clean the floor, there's still spots on it, debris all over. So instead of telling the staff, can you pick up these debris or papers, you will tell the staff, would you be able to do a check to make sure that the entire space that is allocated for cleaning met the requirement. And once you have completed, you let me know, I will check the evidence on the floor. Yeah. And once I declared that, if there are still debris on the space allocated, I can make my decision. But if sometimes just learner couldn't see, or sometimes there's blind spot, or the way they move, they just missed out some areas. Yeah. Or the yeah. Okay, or assessment form. Take for example, when you finish your assessment record, you forgot to put down the remarks, forgot to sign, forgot to think, then I would say that, okay, thank you for completing the assessment plan. There are still some areas incomplete. Would you be able to check your entire assessment record is completed? We are checking your productivity. Yeah? Final setup. Okay, if the table setup in the restaurant is not done well, you can ask them to do a final check on these 4 tables instead of pointing, this table is not set up based on SOP, can you change this? There's this 4 tables here, I would like you to recheck. There are one of them with errors and and let me know which one. That would be the recovery process. Probe is for recovery for assessors, not for trainers. Yeah, trainers need to hint, to guide. You can ask them questions first, but you still need to hint and guide. No choice. That's the role of the trainer. You see every opportunity for the learners to learn. Yes. Does that answer your question? Key.
Yes, thank you.
Also, can still ask during coaching or before coaching through WhatsApp. Okay? So step-by-step guidance for feedback is very clear as well. Okay. The feedback picture cost me $60. Sandwich feedback. I got one of my learners design for me. Yeah. I wanted icons. Picture speaks 1,000 words. Yeah, I have icons for cognition, affective sociality. Yeah, very proud of them. Came up with the idea and get something. So I got no more time to draw. I got myself a treat today. I got an apple. When I finish our class, I will have my apple. And because it's COVID, I can't use my hand, so I have to use a plastic bag. Or a fork next time, put in a box. Yeah, this is to help me lose weight as well, instead of eating sweet stuff, right? Damien, how old are you? Potentially the oldest in the class, right? Yeah, I passed 40s, I'm past 50s already. Closing to 60s. You are very young. That means all of you are younger than me. Oh, okay. But I believe I'll work until as long as I can work. As long as I'm healthy. There's no retirement in my language. I enjoy working. My kids don't understand. They say I work too hard. Life should be easier. I enjoy working. Mom, you're still looking at your students' work. Let that be lah. The deadline is 3 days. Why are you marking so early? Relax. Come shopping with me. I said, oh my god, spend money. Do you know I've not been to Hai Di Lao in my life? I still don't plan to go. Marcus also hasn't been. Very good. We shake hands.
Hai Di Lao?
I've not been.
I went for the first time on Tuesday.
Yeah, congrats! I've not been. Soon couldn't find a reason to go.
It's a good first time experience, but I don't need to go again.
Oh, okay. My daughter went to buy some of their soup stock from it, and Tuesday we cook and I tasted.
Please continue to support Hai Di Lao. They have dropped to 4th already in the Forbes. So they need their stock shares to go up.
I think competing with a medtech person to make ventilator, I really applaud my medtech person. Tonight, one of the things my student needs is to Google whether he do good when he earns so much money. If he do good, then the medtech guy deserves it. I think the whole world probably buy from him. Yes, Chinese production speed cheap good. Yes. Singaporeans. Yeah, very important. I'm sure Hai Di Lao will come out at some point, but they have to rejuvenate their soup stock to make it healthy, reduce number of salt. I read the NTC package. I said it for a long time. I told my daughter, this amount of salt I still would buy because the amount of salt is too high. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's 5 o'clock. Somebody is watching the clock on my behalf. But thank you for telling me it ends at 6. No, ends at 5. Yeah. So it should be quite easy, right? Rakesh, we have done the assessment many times, right? Marcus too, right? Yeah. PF, I'm sure you do that too. Lisa, I'm sure you do. All the time, Lisa. Hang Zuo. Yeah. Nadia too. Bella too. Yeah. I'm sure when you're going to eat the same bowl of char kway teow, when you taste the first few mouthfuls, you're actually making your own assessment. Whether it fits your product evidence of the char kway teow that you ate the last time before. Mm-hmm. Yes, fine.
Me, just to ask you, just now you say you sent email, right? I never received any email from you. Oh, now only I received it. Oh.
Congratulations.
Attachment, right? Wow, that's good. Okay.
Okay, good. Clarified. Just in time. Your network loves me.
So because I'm staying in the north and somewhere it's raining, so it's very slow.
Oh, you're staying in the north. So fast.
Yeah, it's raining somewhere, so the network here is very slow.
Are you able to review north, south, east, west your dorm?
My north, mine is Woodlands one.
Wow, you stay in the dorm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, got it.
Camp dorms always have the best views. They have the amount of land that none of us HDB or city dwellers have. When I go to Pasir Laba camp, I always go 1 hour early, and I'll park where all the exercise kits are, and I'll sit down there and read books for 1 hour with an apple. Wow, where to find such peace and space of land? Oh, you can't find. Yeah. Justin never been to a camp before, yeah? She's so curious. Yeah. I call that my staycation time, Damien. If I have that kind of silent moments with books, right, in Singapore, right? Oh, I call it staycation time, but FOC staycation time. It will like recharge me for a year. Yeah, for that 1 hour break. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So tonight I have to research my MedTech guy. Did he do good in the society? Yes. Then I will further applaud him, or else I'll keep my mouth shut for the. Yes. Okay, I will applaud with you, Joel, that hope that Hai Di Lao will innovate and grow from here to the next lab in a more COVID-friendly environment. Yes.
Ready lah. Now it's Grab and Secret Lab go up already.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Okay, so we end today. Yes. I'll be here for the next 10 minutes if anyone has any questions. Yes. Roll up a trainer. If not, enjoy is TG. No, TSIM. Thank God it's Saturday. Enjoy. Take a break. Stretch a bit. Yeah. I forgot to stretch and then I got stiff neck. So tonight I will have to put.
So hopefully you hope that next week we will come 30 minutes earlier before our session, right?
Yes, I'm going to text here and I'm going to put it public because 30 minutes
30 minutes in advance
I think for next week coaching 15 minutes is good enough as a pair.
Okay.
It's the assessment. Assessment 15 minutes is I think more than enough. Yeah.
Okay.
The way I time it is the waiting time is not so high. Or else people wait a long time. It's not very fair in my class.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will let us know which class to go also, right?
Yes, I will. Currently, I don't know. Potentially by Monday they will let me know, then I will let you know. Yeah. Unless there's a big outbreak, then we'll go on Zoom. If not, it will be face to face. Okay, attire, gentlemen and ladies. Any shorts? And slippers? No, thank you. I got caught the last time round. I mean, who see, right? I mean, learner come like that, what can I do, right? Then camera caught, then I got red marks for that. I mean, yeah. Then the second one is when you come, if you want to bring your props, it's okay, but don't bring the whole house here, just that 3 item. I think good enough. Okay. Next, who wants me to printing better? Text me directly, or then I can remember. Other than that, I'll leave you all to take charge. I know chem can be very difficult to print. During COVID, go out printing is just so expensive. Yes. Other than that, enjoy. Yes.
Just to confirm, you mentioned coming in 15 minutes earlier. So if our schedule is actually at 1 p.m. That's supposed to be right after lunch. We come at 12:45.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Just with 10-15 coaching, I'm not so bothered. It's the assessment I'm bothered. Yeah, because sometimes you are caught in traffic light, that kind of stuff, and also my time is back to back for assessment. Very you realize on that day there are times after one candidate I say, okay, good, I need a toilet break. Y'all all wait outside. Then go for toilet, then I come back. Because that's the amount of time I work with, and from learner to learner, after one learner finish, I actually have to let go. As in, I got to refocus and keep my mind fresh for the next person coming in. Assessment is you cannot take the energy from the previous person to the next person, whether positive or negative. You got to maintain that continuously. It's a composure that is very difficult to handle. I've learned that they tell me you look totally drained, like battery down by 0. I say, yes, I am. Will you allow me to 5 minutes just run? Allow me to run by running to uplift me a little bit. I love running. Since that tonight's going to rain and I cannot run anymore, I need my run, just to pick up the energy from there. Yes? Yeah. Okay. Marcus, you got to go lah. It's okay. It's okay, don't have to stay. Hey! Class photo! Class photo! Is I'm not here, how still no class photo? Nadia, how?
Go ahead lah. I cannot. My webcam not back up yet.
Never mind. Later I post your picture up there. I put your
Okay,
face.
can we do that next? I always look down. I always never see my class. I get this Ngee Ann Poly class that tells me that they are the best class. So I was like, how long do I have to put up there? Oh, all the directors there, they saw that my this one after 5:20 I sent off. EDP officers
Recording
become
stopped.
their principal. So they say they want my photographs so they show off to their principal. I said, okay, it's time to remove your photograph already. Yes, they are the best class for S5. I said, yeah, I'm sure you are lah. My director and deputy director for Ngee Ann Poly. They are so good, my goodness. Enjoy yourself. So this is ACLP. Yeah, ACLP. Thank you for the hard work throughout the whole journey. Yes.
Photo taken already or not? You want me to help you to take photo?
Photo taken already. I reset already. Yeah, thank you, Nadia. We will paste your photo up. Yep. Yeah. So ACLP, good for you. You pick up some skills. Yes.
Yeah.
How many of you will be attending, starting to use this or started to use this for your training already? Rakesh, I'm sure you have some of the modules. I think you could have gotten RPL, but some of you will use a few things in your training already.
Not really lah, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet,
Okay, can no worry. Soon. Or Marcus, Key did something different already in your daily training.
Implementing soon. I'm going to try out the gummies on next week.
I can be your advisor. Use Gani. Do you think your DPath in M4 can be mapped exactly to Gani 9 events?
I'm trying that out also.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, for my side, because I'm doing technical training, technical drafting, so I'll be mostly applying M4 and Gani.
Definitely Gani. The only thing DPath missing is tap on learner's prior experience. but nothing is stopping me to do that. Yeah. You know, so when I train F4, I use Gunny as a frame. Because it's easier to convince my learner why they need to learn another theory. And then at least got a name to it. EPUB got no name, no theories that back it up. But it came from US, and US is very strong in Gunny for military training and all that. So it's the foundation of a lot of training. Yeah. Lisa, you use already?
Me? Yeah, I did.
Some parts lah. Try. If not, even just the soft skill when you see your learner, the difference should be in your soft skills right now. Who cares about the theory? Yeah? You're listening, you're acknowledge my pause, my Joel, pause. Okay. Yeah. So that's the ECLP. How many of you are going to do DDDLP? Not yet. Take a break first. Yeah? I think next week, newspaper is going to feature a few of my students, all graduated, and IL kind of wanted, or Straits Times wanted to interview them. So I picked several of them over the last 10 years for them to feature. Well, you see how's the report come out. I've not, they only text me that, I've been interviewed by Straits Times. I said, okay, thanks for letting me know. Enjoy. Yeah. Okay, so bye. See you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.